Hello, welcome to MotorMouth, a new series on the channel where we take a look at the latest and greatest in automotive news. We'll take a look at new releases, new technologies, and have a look at what's to come in the future. So without further ado, let's get going. Let's have a look at the video from M.
When you've broken every record.
Sorry if that's
For
deafening.
the best of us. The day will come when you've finally done it. When you've made it to the top.
Okay, so first of all, DRL's awesome. A bit of a weird one. I saw one of the presses from, I think it was Top Gear on their YouTube channel, when they did when Ollie Murray did a release of this thing, did a kind of a tour round. I noticed that depending on the shot that they'd taken, the DRLs were either blue or yellow. So I put a comment on there and asking, what's going on with that. And someone said that apparently it's law that if the headlights are on, if the main lamps are on, then they can be yellow, but through the day they can only be blue. So, I don't know how true that is. That's what I was told. If anyone can correct me, please do. But they look mega. I love that yellow. It's so different. It's so new. I love everything about that. That's awesome. Splitter, that's a little bit different. I'm not going to lie, I've never been a fan of these kind of flicks. I've seen kind of aftermarket parts been made with this kind of design language. I'm not really a fan of that, to be honest. I think it just looks a little bit add-on-y. I know that's what it is, but I like stuff to look a little bit OEM plus, or like it could have come from factory. That obviously has, but it looks like it's been done by a chap. The grills, you can't really see them very well on this this picture. But yeah, they've got these new kind of single vane with the split at the end, and the top and bottom halves of the grille. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I've got an idea for how I'd like it to look, but that's not it.
Pushed every limit to its
Sorry, they always make me laugh with the quotes. Pushed every limit. Sorry. So obviously we've got new tail lights. The laser lights, I've said, I'm not sure if they're still classed as OLEDs like they were in the CS and the GTS before. They look cool. They're kind of retro. I'm not going to lie, I think obviously the regular comp has got these kind of black inserts and these different kind of facets, like this multifaceted kind of surface to it, and I quite like that. This hasn't got that, and I'm not sure if that'll age well, but we'll see. I love this new thing they're doing with the badge. Apparently every car that's made by BMW in 2022, they're going to put this kind of feature on the badge. I really like that. I think it looks awesome. And then the absolute party piece, which is this ducktail spoiler here that's integrated into the boot lid. I'm under the impression that this entire sort of panel now, the entire unit, the entire boot lid piece is all carbon fibre now. I was going to see if I could get my hands on one, but if it's made out of carbon fibre, then I think it's probably going to cost £75 million, so I'm not going to do that. Interestingly enough, there's no M Performance diffuser and exhaust on there, which I thought there might have been, but apparently it's a titanium back box, so yeah, interesting.
pushed every limit to its limit. When every corner is taken, every line crossed, and all the applause earned.
Oh, that looks awesome. Oh, I missed it. That looks awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure about these lights. I'm not sure if they're going to age very well. I'll be interested to see what kind of aftermarket companies do with them and if they can kind of mimic them and kind of add their own flair to it. But yeah, ducktail looks awesome. Oh, side profile with that ducktail is mega.
And your reputation precedes you.
I mean, the original CSL, what a car. Beautiful. Wow, mega. Them yellow DRLs are absolutely doing bits for me, to be honest. Paint job, I know a lot of people have been not kicking off, but not really agreed with that. I quite like these red accents, to be honest. I think they look quite good. If I could get that on a whole black car, Yeah, I like that. I like kind of little intricacies like that. I think it looks great. Yeah, that splitter's doing nothing for me, I'm going to be honest. I just think it doesn't follow the kind of design language. There's no cohesion with the rest of the car. I just think it's kind of add-on-y. And it's the same goes with the grille. I mean, it's different. It looks great. But with this huge crash bar across here, I just think it almost ruins it. I just don't think that they should have these... I don't know. It just looks like a big gaping hole. It's not for me. Not for me, really. That. But the whole thing together as a package looks great. Wheels, again, I'm sorry, BMW, but for me, some of the wheels that you come out with recently have just been...
What's your next move now that you've proven everything to everyone?
That CSL, the original CSL.
You start all over again.
Maybe I'm just jealous because he's a handsome chap. So, okay, let's have a look at some photos here. And this is courtesy of Top Gear website. These are the photos that they've put on there. So the front, the immediate standout is the grills. And obviously they've got this nice little red element that's running around the kind of circumference of the grille. I like the red, but I don't like the elements of the grille. They've got this kind of split towards the end. I think they're a little bit too minimalist. You've got the crash bar across the middle, which is it's a little bit too kind of, for want of a better expression, standoutish for me. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the way it's been split up. I don't like this minimalist grille look. It doesn't really work for me, but obviously I'd have to see it in person to kind of make a final assessment. It might work in person, it might look great, but I'm not really a massive fan. Obviously we've got a new splitter here. Again, I just don't like these flicks. I know the M Performance kit at the front looks great actually. I really like the front splitter on the standard M Performance car. But this flick here kind of is more suited to that M Performance skirt that you get with a flick sort of back towards the rear wheel there. That would look well together because it would kind of continue that design language on through there. I'm not really a fan of this splitter. It's a little bit too kind of incohesive with the rest of the car, to be honest. It doesn't seem to follow many lines, and the same goes with the grille. There's no kind of reference to any other part of the car, so yeah, you could probably keep that for me. I'm not sure. We'll see if she'll come out with something a little bit more kind of inspiring than that. The DRLs, I think they look awesome. I love the kind of retro take with the yellow. A strange kind of quirk of these is, so I'm told, if you watch kind of the release videos, you'll see, especially the Top Gear one on YouTube, you'll see as the shot changes, the colour of the DRLs changes. So I kind of put a comment on there asking the question, what's going on with the lights? Sometimes the blue, sometimes the yellow. And apparently, if the main beam is on, then they run in yellow, and at night they run in yellow. But if the main beam's off, then they're in blue. Something to do with some sort of regulation deep within the archives. I'm kind of not sure where that's come from, but apparently that's the case. If anyone knows any different, please tell me. I would like to know. So that kind of covers the front bumper. Obviously, I really like those lights. I think they look fantastic. I imagine you'll be able to get someone somewhere to get techie with a laptop and make sure that you can have them yellows all the time because they look fantastic. So we've got this continuation of the line, kind of almost up and through these. I don't know whether these are fake holes or actual holes in the bonnet, but it's a carbon bonnet anyway, so it'll save a little bit of weight. And then that feature runs up and over the carbon roof. I like the bonnet. To be honest, I preferred the CS and the GTS bonnet with a kind of bulge. They had a recess. It had a recess here and then a bolt, kind of the power dome here. And for some reason, the new G series cars have lost the power dome, I think it's called. And I really like the power dome. It gives it like a real aggression, and I quite liked it. And they haven't got it anymore. They've gone for kind of a nostril look with these pseudo holes here. But there might be real holes. I'm not sure. But it is a carbon bonnet, so that's cool. I mean, it looks great. It's not a bad looking car at all. It looks really aggressive. It looks modern. So it looks good. So start the side, the wheels, they're just not working for me. I'm not sure what it is with BMW at the moment, but they're making the wheels that are just a nightmare to clean. I mean, the regular 826Ms that are on the competition car, the regular M4 competition and M3 competition, are a nightmare to clean. These are kind of a more sort of squared off version of the 826. Yeah, I'm not really a fan, to be honest. I also don't like the staggered 19 and 20 setup. The 20 looks alright, but I wish it was a squared setup. I understand the performance, well, I don't actually understand the performance benefits. Is it to do with the grip and the tyres got more flex so it can have a bigger contact patch or whatever? Yeah, I'm not sure. I prefer a 20 at the front. I think this big bulky front tyre, this the sidewall on a 19 just means the wheel gets lost in the arch. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of that in real life, but the car looks sorted on the side. You've got some red elements here to just let you know that you've got a CSL if you're looking at it from the side. There's carbon ceramics in there, you know, aid weight, you know, the better when they're used for longer. They kind of keep that braking coefficient as great as possible for longer while they're being used and operate quite well under heat. So moving over to the back, this ducktail for me looks fantastic. I'm not sure if you can find a, oh no, I thought it was going to be a front 3/4 view from kind of a little bit of an elevated position so you could see the muscular look, but that for me just looks fantastic. And then obviously we've got the new tail lights. I'm not sure whether they're OLEDs like the old CS and GTS or whether they're a different technology altogether, but I think they look good. I see they've gone for a retro look with the kind of the whole red tail light rather than the kind of black elements that are really nice and modern on the regular competition. I'd have to see them in person. They're different. They look cool. I really like the kind of daylight running feature. So let's move on. Obviously we've got some different views. What else we got? Obviously we've got, you know, better view of the carbon ceramics and the red elements here on the side vents, side grille, whatever you want to call it. Real nice change in elevation of the ducktail spoiler. Really like that. Wow, what a view. That has got cake. But it has, yeah, it looks fantastic. It looks really, really good. I like that quite a lot. So let's see if we can get some photos of the interior. Now these seats look absolutely fantastic to me. Obviously they're a full bucket by the looks of things, so they've got this kind of, this bolster that runs all the way down the side of the seat and kind of in one seamless piece to the bottom of the bucket. I think it's called the squab, whatever. The squab. And that's, you know, it's really quite nice. It's got some cutouts there that aid weight saving, but also look great. Obviously, you've got this exposed element of carbon here, and then the central transmission tunnel now has become a whole carbon piece, and they've taken a cutout piece away from where the centre console was there. I really like that, to be honest, because one bugbear of mine when I'm driving my car is that the central armrest gets in the way quite a lot. You know, if you like to drive the car at 2:45, kind of when you're turning, you have a sharp turn left or right, you tend to hit your elbow on that centre console. So the fact that they've taken that away means that they know that that's the case, and obviously that's going to help, alleviate some of those sort of issues. We can see here we've got a deletion of the rear seats to aid in weight saving. It's an interesting one because it's obviously not a track special. When asked about the CSL and GTS differences, they said the GTS is more of a track focused special, hence the roll cage and, you know, the complete weight savings, you know, the water injection, that kind of thing. Whereas the CSL is a lightweight road car, you know, it's made for the road. So deletion of the rear seats is an interesting one because this car for me inherently is flawed, you know, based on its general makeup. It's a big car, it's got a ZF8 speed gearbox, it weighs a decent amount for this kind of car. So deleting the rear seats to save 25 kilos for me doesn't really make much sense. If it's a road car, you want it to be as practical as possible, and then obviously when you're on your own, you can press all the right buttons to turn it into a bit of a salvage.
The numbers are as follows. The CSL keeps the venerable S58 but increases the boost from 1.7 to 2.1 bar. This equates to an increase of around 40 horsepower, bringing the total to 550. Torque remains the same at 615 Newton meters. 8mm has been taken out of the ride height with the addition of helper springs to keep the mainsprings properly seated under varying load. The rubber rear control arm bushings have been replaced with ball joints, reducing any sway and rebound near the limit, whilst the rear subframe has been bolted to the chassis to improve rigidity. The L in CSL stands for lightweight, and although the G8X platform could never be considered light, BMW have managed to shed 100 kilos, bringing the total down to 1,652 kilos. This has been achieved by removing sound insulation, deleting the rear seats, adding some new buckets up front and lashings of carbon throughout. 0 to 62 comes in 3.7 seconds, and 0 to 124 is done in 10.7 seconds. That's a 0.2 and 1.2 second reduction, respectively, over the competition model. This is the fastest M car ever produced, with a VMAX of 191 miles per hour. Just 1,000 units will be made, with just 100 coming to the UK. And as I'm sure it comes at no surprise, this slimming programme comes at a premium, 130k to be exact, which places it straight in the firing line of another lightweight track hero from Stuttgart. As a package, the CSL is definitely an intriguing one. Although it's difficult to summarise a car without driving it, the building blocks are positive. Aesthetically, it's a striking development of the G8X, which is already a great looking car, so I imagine this will just be an evolution of that. The improved mechanics promise to provide an amazing experience, and I don't doubt this thing will be fantastic to drive. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below.